Hey guys, good morning. It is Melanie Mitro, and I am here live with our Business Tip Tuesday, which I am really excited about. So give me 1 second to make sure we are up and running. Yep, I see us over here with our business. Okay, so just give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me okay, because I'm actually doing this a little different than I normally do. So if you can just give me a thumbs up, I'll be happy that you guys can all hear me. Perfect. All right, so I hope you guys are excited about this topic because I know that I am really excited to talk to you today about time management and tracking. I think this is one thing that I noticed just through the comments that you guys have a lot of questions about. And I can tell you tracking is one thing that I probably wasn't awesome at the beginning with because I was winging my business. I was building my business in the pockets of the free time that I had, which meant that some days I was working my business from the kitchen table. Sometimes it was on the couch. Sometimes it was, in the bedroom. Wherever I had a free second, I was in my car, I was driving, right? And so, those were ways that I was building my business. And so I had sticky notes and, messages in the note section of my phone, and I had my paper planner, and then I had Google. And so it was just sort of all over the place. And I would respond to messages through Facebook Messenger, but I would never take them and put them on my contact list. And so I found that I was losing people in the process, and my system was not efficient. So we are going to dive in today to creating an effective system to keeping track of your time. Sound like a good plan? All right, so let's get it. Yeah, this is actually through Zoom, Jess. So I have a webinar account that allows me to also broadcast live, which makes my life easier because I don't have to worry about my phone flipping off that tripod, which it does happen every once in a while. So guys, here's the thing. One of the biggest mistakes we make as coaches is that we do not track our business. And so we have this perception that we are actually doing better than we really are. And I'm going to sort of just bust a couple of those myths today as we're talking. So number one, we all are, I'll find that a lot of coaches are like, I am working my business nonstop 24/7. And then I'll say, well, what are you doing during that time that you're working your business? And people don't know. And maybe that's you. Are you that person that you're like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like I'm on the computer, I'm on my phone all day long. We need to put a stop to that because this business should not take over your life. This business should enhance your life. It should give you flexibility and freedom. All of those things we tell other people that when they join our teams, they're going to be able to get. We don't want to be lying to them. We want to make sure that we actually have a system for helping them to manage their time. That starts with us first. That starts with us first being able to manage our time because we can't duplicate or teach something that we are not doing ourselves. So number one, we need to know where our time is spent. And if you say to yourself, I don't know what I do all day long, your first assignment is to track where you're spending your time and how long it's taking you to do specific business activities. And maybe you give yourself an entire week where you do that, and then you allow yourself to reflect on that because you need to create a baseline. It is like your challengers in your challenge groups that go out and they are not tracking their food, but at the end of the week, they come back to you and they say, well, I did really well this week, but I didn't lose any weight. And so you say, well, how many cheat meals did you have? And they're like, well, I think one. Well, did you count your containers? Well, no, but I didn't eat anything I wasn't supposed to, but they don't really know. And then the next week when you say, all right, for this next week, I want you to really track your containers, what happens? Oh, I was eating too many yellows, or, oh, I had too many blue containers. And so then they become self-aware. Just like we're self-aware with our fitness and our nutrition, we need to be self-aware in our business too. We need to be able to evaluate. I was reading through my personal development, and do you know that athletes, they know their averages all the time. They know their batting average. They know their number of shots made, their number of shots missed. They know their stats at all time because in their mind, in an athlete's mind, their goal is to always beat their personal best. And that is what you need to do. You treat your business as if you are the athlete of your organization. You want to be able to nail your numbers, know your stats. When somebody asks you, you need to be able to explain to them what it is that you're doing. All right? So I'm going to give you a little kind of, before we jump into what I do to track, this is what I look at. I look at my efficiency and my effectiveness and then I look at my performance. So with that being said, you could be sitting here right now saying, I sent 100 invites, right? Last week, I sent 100 invites last week. And you could say to yourself, I checked the invites off the box, right? I checked the invites off the box. I did 100 invites. But then if you look at your effectiveness, 0 people responded, and then your performance that transitioned into 0 sales, you actually did not move your business forward at all. So we need to make sure that our efficiency, the 100 invites that we are sending, are effective and are getting responses back. And we know how many responses. Is it 10%? Is it 20%? And then out of that 10% that responded, what was the effectiveness? Did we get 1 or 2 sales? That means that what we were doing was actually successful. That only happens because you track the conversations that you're having. Look, guys, I built my business while being a stay-at-home mom, but I treated it like a business. I did not treat it like a hobby. I learned how to track. I got out a sheet of paper. Even if it was on 3 sheets of paper, I could still tell you how many invites, how many follow-ups, and at the end of every day, at the end of every week, I got real with myself. And I think a lot of times we just want to live in this world where everything is perfect and everything's fine. I don't really want to face the numbers. I don't want to face that all this time I'm investing in my business isn't producing results, so I'm just not going to do it. But if you choose to live in that fantasy land, you are going to continue to not have success, which is ultimately going to lead to frustration. It is going to lead to you losing that fire and passion for the business because you're not getting results. Your spouse or significant other is going to stop supporting you. And you are going to find that eventually you are the one that fizzles out and is no longer a coach with Team Beachbody because you weren't being efficient. It wasn't becoming effective and you weren't getting results. That wasn't happening. You weren't getting the sales. So we need to make sure that we're tracking that, and then we understand that we have an issue, and then we course correct it with all of the great content that is out there in this training world. All right. So we need to have the courage to track. It is key. There is no right or wrong way to track what I'm about to show you. Look, when I did this, when my coach Sarah, she talked about Streak, Google Streak. There's also Teamsy. There is also a Google Doc. There is also paper and pencil. It is all about what you want to use. I have learned, and I'm crazy for not having done this like 5 years ago, but to use Google Streak, because what I need to be able to see is where are people at in my pipeline? Where are people at? How many have I invited today? How many have I followed up with? And then if I look at that pipeline and I'm like, man, I got nobody new, then I know I haven't been doing my job, right? I haven't been spending my time efficiently. I can spend 4 hours on my business, but I can spend 4 hours answering Facebook messages, talking to coaches, making live videos in my challenge groups, and I haven't brought in anybody new. And I need to be doing that every single day. All right, so if you're gonna use this system that I'm gonna show you, here's the thing. I didn't just create this I didn't stop, upload all my contacts, I didn't spend 8 hours or an entire week getting organized. Just start fresh today. Start fresh. Do not let this distract you from your golden hours. The planning and organizing is one piece of the puzzle. That is considered administrative. Every single day you can do administrative things, but you need to make sure that every day, no matter what, you are doing things that are building your business. Got it? Okay. All right. So I'm going to screen share with you. That's the beauty of being able to do this. So here is, this is Google Streak, and basically if you just go to googlestreak.com or type it in, you can actually download this right into your Gmail account. And this is just a basic one. This is not my actual one because I didn't want to take you into my inbox, but let's just say we are using this one and this is our test. So you see these pipelines, they show up over here. So right now I can add a new pipeline, right? And I always choose sales and CRM because that's what we're working on right now. This is my pipeline that I am creating. So the pipeline, I can give a name. So let's just say this is going to be my customer prospects, right? And I'm going to make it a test so that I know that it's not my actual one. So now I've got this pipeline. In my inbox here, it says customer prospects. Make sense? Now, all of these little boxes, these little pretty color-coded things can have a different title. And these are the phases that people move through in the process. So what is the first thing that we do when we talk to people, right? It's our initial message. So if I go up here to this little wheel, I can click rename stage. And so it might not be a lead, or maybe it is a lead, but maybe it is like I sent, we call it like a hey girl message, right? A hey girl message, but basically it's like a connecting message. Like, hey, you know, I noticed that you and your family got these great family pictures taken, and I love them. Who took your pictures, right? So I was connecting with somebody. So maybe that's my hey girls. And then what I would do is if I went and I sent a person on Facebook, or maybe I connected with somebody on Instagram and I sent them a message of some sort, I can go up here and click new box. I would put in that person's name, right? I would put in that person's name, and then what I would do is I would go across and do you see how this says stage? So this is the stage that that person is in. It's obviously assigned to me. Now, where these little bars are across the top, I can click a plus. Now, I can choose the date, you know, today, and you can go down here to these magic columns, and I can do date created. So obviously it was created on March 21st, and you can move the columns, right? The name. Then I want to say, okay, what is the next thing? If I want to do free form, I can do free form, which means I can just type anything in there that I want. If I want to do a note section, that's automatically in there. I can make sure that their email address is added. So email address might be right next to the date created, right? I can put that in there. Oh, it didn't move over the way I wanted it to. And what I find is I don't spend a lot of time sort of going through this at the beginning. I just do it as I go. So if Sarah Mills was somebody, oh, let me go back, guys, sorry. Sarah Mills is somebody I sent a hey girl message to. If I then click that open, now I don't really want deal size to be in there because this really isn't a deal. So I'm actually going to go back and delete that out. Delete, because I don't need that column, right? This is not about the deal size. So here we go. Now, if I am going to send, I can put in the notes, right? So on 3/21/17, it was an Instagram, oops, sorry, can't type Instagram contact, sent a message about an outfit she was wearing. And then maybe what I want to do is I want to go back here, and then I want to put in what group she might be interested in. Free form. Interested in which group, right? And so honestly, what you'll do is you'll find out through this process, you know, people's information. So maybe I want to do another one, and I want to do, let's see, hang on, I want to do free form, and then maybe I want to put in here Facebook URL. Maybe I want to, you know, so now when I open this up, I can put in, if it's a Facebook URL, I can put it in there. If it is a free form, maybe it's their IG URL, I can put that in there, whatever information you want, right? So now I could copy and paste from Instagram or Facebook their URL, so I know how to find them. I can copy and paste in there their email addresses so that I can find them again. I can put notes on here. And so then what I do is that person is now in that stage. So I know that on March 21st was the date that I talked to them, the date of the last email. If it was through email, I try to get everybody over to email. If their email address is, you know, added, then I can add that in there, all of that great stuff, all right? Now, maybe I'm doing a free group with somebody. And so what I have here, oh, where did that go? Sorry, hold on. Okay, so now I've got Hey Girls. Now maybe I want to change this one and I want to call it Forming. So now I'm forming someone, right? Or I'm, you know, gave info about a challenge group, right? And so now I've got that over here. Maybe I am running a free group. So maybe I invited to a free group. And then and you can change these every month. Maybe the next one is gave link to sign up for challenge group, right? And then maybe this one over here is signed up and added to group. And then maybe this one over here is follow up with next month. Then if I don't want to use this one, I can delete it out, delete stage, right? I can add more stages over here if I want to. And so now I might say, okay, this Sarah Mills, right? I sent her a hey girl, she was interested. So I'm giving her information about the challenge group. So I moved her to the stage. Now she shows up in this stage. So every single person, when I sit down to do my power hour, I am using my Google Streak and I'm looking at what stage are people at? When's the last time I talked to them? I make sure that I add everybody in here. You can do this on your any Google, you know, it syncs to every Google computer you're using and it makes your life so much easier, all right? So that's one thing that I do that makes my life very easy because I can see, okay, today I need to follow up with these 5 people. Oh, I haven't added anybody since, you know, Sunday. I need to add 5 to 10 people. This allows me to look at the end of every day. I'm looking to see how many people did I add to the group? Did I actually win or get those Success Club points? I can track my progress and see where I am at in the process. You can customize this. Don't spend a lot of time. Like just add your first person and then create the fields as you go along. It is not hard to do at all. The other thing is now that I've created this and I go like I want to do a message here, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this big. And the one big thing about Google Streak is let's say that I'm going to send, you know, a message to my husband. All right. Let's just say he's one of my customers. And then I want to check in with him about signing up as a challenge group, or maybe he asked to join my free group. There's this little thing down here and it's called snippets. And here's my snippet that I have created that just allows me to create a message. So you know how we copy and paste scripts and we're sharing information over and over again? So this one says, I got your email about my 7-day free clean eating group, right? I'm excited to have you as a part of the group. Tell me a little bit about yourself. What interests you most about the 7-day? It's so do you currently work with a coach? Are you a coach? And then I give somebody the background information. Then I click send. It's easy. The snippets, you can create new snippets. You can manage them. I have one for follow-ups, one for sign-ups, one for this is my welcome email I send when people sign up. I have one for customer prospects for like a group invite. And this, again, makes me more efficient with my time. I know what people respond best to. This allows me to gather that information. All right, so this is my system. Again, when I started this, I didn't waste an entire day. I think so many of us waste so much time trying to learn a new system and importing all of our contacts. You don't need to do that. When you upload Google Streak, do you see where it says Streak up here? If I click on that, it says get help. All I need to do is like go through here. What is a pipeline? What are stages? What is the different column types? If I didn't know how to do something, I just went to the help bar and figured it out. And I created it as I went. And I promise you, this is going to give you a good reflective way to make sure that you are staying on track. All right, so what I need to do is I know I need to come back and see what messages that you guys are asking. Okay. I do not. And I will tell you, I get everybody over into my email. I don't do all things. I try to get people over into email because what happens is you lose people. If you click on a Facebook message and you don't have time to answer it, it is now marked red and you may forget. That's me. So I know that if I get them to email, if I give them, you know, an application to fill out for my challenge group or for a free group, and I get them to email, then I can track it and keep track of people. All right. So it's super easy. You have to use and I use Google Chrome. Absolutely. I don't know if it only works on Chrome, but yes. And it is called Streak, Google Streak, and it is in Gmail. Yes, that is correct. And all right. So this is so me right now. All right, so guys, you guys are asking good questions, which is good. So keep them coming, keep them coming. So with that being said, guys, what I encourage you guys to do with your business, and I just told my team the same thing. I said to them, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you set your intentions for the day and you say, look, I only have an hour to work my business today. What do I need to work on? That Google Streak is where you're spending your time, or in your to-do list is where you're spending your time, because you have to have the courage and the self-discipline to track what you're doing so that you can analyze, you know, oh gosh, I've sent 50 invites and I haven't gotten a challenger. I'm obviously either giving too much information or not enough. And then before you get overly frustrated, you step back and you ask questions. Okay, where can I improve? Can I ask somebody else as a pair of eyes looking in, like, look at my conversations. What am I doing wrong? You also have to reflect on your social media. Like, is your social media catching people's attention? In the last 5 posts, do I see that you're actually a coach? And so you want to say to yourself, today, these are my intentions. My 1 hour is this. I'm going to set the timer. And I do this. I set the timer, 1 hour. I turn on my music. I open up my Google Streak. I close out Facebook. I turn my notifications off. And I spend 1 hour working on adding contacts, adding them to Streak, following up. And it is not about, you know, it is not about wasting time, but it is really about being efficient and effective, and then measuring my performance at the end of every night. This process has allowed me to realize that I was either not inviting, not adding contacts, not expanding my market, getting no responses. And so then I can look at my effectiveness and said, what I did this week was effective. I got this amount of Success Club points and I earned this amount of dollars. Yes, I reached my quota. And that is how I manage my business and my effectiveness. Guys, if you do not track, you don't know where you stand. And I say this a lot, you know, do not choose delusion over reality. Some of you are sitting here on this live call right now and you are saying, but I'm doing everything and it's not working for me. And I guarantee you, there is 1 or 2 things that if you just a millimeter tweak, that you will get a better outcome. I guarantee you, some of you are deflecting coach invites. Some of you are deflecting challenge group invites. You're replacing it with hours of personal development. You're replacing it with making images and Facebook posts. You're deflecting the things in your business, and you are being delusional with yourself. And so you think you're on the right track. And do this. Give yourself a reality check. And yes, it may cause you a little anxiety because you realize you're off course. But heck, I would rather you course correct than quit and still be passionate about Beachbody coaching and then look back and say, but it didn't work for me. No, it works. The business is not broken. The business absolutely works. It's just that you need to make a shift and make sure you're spending your time in the right areas. All right. So courage, self-discipline, guys. You got to track, analyze, make adjustments, focus on the outcome. All right. Focus on the outcome. Any last questions that you guys have, I'd be happy to answer. So Jennifer, did you transfer Notebook to Google Streak a little at a time while you were adding new contacts? Yes. So I started fresh. So for example, today was my day 1 that I was starting. As I was looking at my notebook and as I was going to follow up with people, I just add them to Google Streak, right? I would do my 5 people I added, but I don't go back for 6 months. I'm not going to spend 8 hours just adding people into Google Streak, because then what happens at the end of the day? I didn't add anybody new. I didn't actually talk to anybody. I just spent all day organizing. That is not efficiency or effectiveness in your business, right? All right, Laura, what kind of invite do you give so that you aren't giving too much information, yet you are giving enough? So when you're inviting somebody, it depends on the invite. You want to make it very customized. It's an experience for that person on the other end. If you're sending an invite to your challenge group, you're going to say, hey, you know, I wanted to send you an invite because we've been talking about working out. Every time I see you at the bus stop, we talk about workouts. And I'm kicking off this new group, and I didn't know maybe this would be a good time for you to join. Let me know if you'd like some more information. And then if somebody comes back and says, you know, yes, I'm excited, sign me up, that doesn't automatically mean the person is signing up. You shouldn't just send them a link at that point. You should say, okay, well, let me tell you a little, let me ask you, if you don't know what workouts they're currently doing, you're going to start asking that. What workouts are you currently doing? What nutrition are you currently following? If you already know the answers to those questions because it's a friend of yours, you're going to say, have you thought about what program you want to do? right? And so then you're gonna go into that conversation of what program they're gonna do. Then you're gonna give them suggestions. Once you give them suggestions, you're gonna say, I think this would be the best option for you. You know, here's what I do in the challenge group. And then I go into a short 1-paragraph explanation of what I'm gonna provide them in the challenge group. Does that sound good to you? Then I wait for their response. Then I say, okay, this is what you need to be a part of the challenge group. You need the fitness program, you need Shakeology, you know, you need to use this link. The challenge pack is the best bang for your buck, and here is why. Here's the link to purchase. Check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. You know, if you want to go ahead and get this ordered today, it'll give you enough time to get it here in time. I can add you to the group as soon as your order goes through. So quick, right? It doesn't need to be over the top. You don't need to go into great lengthy detail. I know for me personally, if something is long-winded, if somebody writes me a book for an email, I glaze over. So I try never to do that to other people either, because I know that, you know, I just tune people out. So that's the way I answer questions for people. All right. Okay. Let's do a couple more. Yes, Google Streak does work on your phone as well. You can use that on your phone. So there is an app for that too. And, Junior, you really need to say that the stages are, what do you think you need to track, right? You need to sit down and do this for yourself, because what makes sense for you? Obviously, it's going to be the initial invite. It's going to be that making the first contact. It is going to be obviously sending a message. Then it's going to be the follow-ups. It's going to be giving somebody the link. It is going to be adding them to the challenge group, you know, or follow up with them next month. So as you're going through the process, as you're going through the invite process, your new stages are going to pop up, and you're just going to add them to your Google Streak as it happens. Each person's boxes are going to be set up individually to your business, and then they will change over time. So my challenge group I'm running in March, I'll change that title, and that'll be what I do in April. Make sense? All right, Juliana, to keep organized in a planner, then you're gonna have to do the same kind of thing where you have a list of people that you're messaging. You have a list of people that you're kind of in a stage with that are interested in the challenge group. And then you have people, you highlight them once they make a purchase, right? And then you put them on another sheet of paper. But you just have to find a system that keeps you organized. And maybe you write it on a sticky note in the morning because you're working in the kitchen. But as long as every night you just make it a task to actually put everybody in one place, you'll keep it organized along the way. All right? Okay. An application template? No, I don't. No. That it doesn't have to merge with Streak. So I think you're good. All right. So with that being said, guys, there are a lot of resources out there that can help you with managing your time. And, you know, there are a lot of things you can pay for, a lot of things you can do. Bottom line is this: you as the coach, as the individual, need to implement. You need to take action on your business. I can give you all the tips in the world. I can give you all the information out there that I have and knowledge, but unless you put it into action, it is just going to be another thing that collects dust. And I don't want to see that happen with you guys too. All right. So there are lots of YouTube videos about Google Streak. If you need more information on it, you can definitely go check out, go to YouTube. I watched an under 10-minute video and created it. Again, it is all about efficiency and effectiveness and performance. Stay grounded in that. Your power hour, your time management is all about getting results. So do not deflect to administrative tasks. Make sure you're staying in your business building mode. All right, guys, let's go make it happen. Let's have a really great week. Feel free to share this video with anybody you think would benefit. You are welcome to share my stuff at any point in time. It is open to the public. Go to melaniemitro.com. Make sure you subscribe to my blog, my website, because as I release new products, new programs, as I come out with new training series, you will get that information there as well. Okay? All right, guys. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I'll see you guys back here next week for our next Business Tip Tuesday. Bye, guys.